What's good, TMG fam? It's your boy L, and I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel, man? Welcome back to the Campfire Edition. I don't know, I think I need like some type of special effects, like a voice box or something to make it sound all creepy and ghouly. I don't need all that. It's too much extra stuff. But anyway, man, we back with some more horror stories, bro. This one is going to be 3 disturbing Snapchat Snap Map horror stories. Why they had to put Snapchat Snap Map horror stories? I don't even know. Were you guys really into Snapchat like that? I think I might have used Snapchat maybe once or twice. Whatever it was, the amount of times of usage that I used it, one hand. You can count it on one hand. But I would imagine with hearing some of the stories about people with the whole map thing and sharing your location and different things like that, I can imagine some things happen. So I'm anxious to hear these stories about Snapchat, of course. And then we got animated horror stories. Shout outs to Wanna See Entertainment. The Secret Basement in the Hospital, Scariest Story animated. We're going to check out. All right. So 2-piece style. You know how we get down. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, join the fam, and let's get to it.
Ever since Snapchat implemented that new Snap Maps feature, it basically lets you stalk any of your friends' locations.
Never understood that, by the way. I heard about it. I didn't know it allowed you to be like, check in on them like that. Because I used to hear like a lot of girls would do, you know, chicks would do that to kind of keep track or supposedly try to keep track of their boyfriends or their man. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, if you got to do all that, man, why even continue with the relationship if you ain't got no trust? Like, why even do all that? But there's some women out there, some crazy women, that will use that app just for that specific purpose, to spy on their man.
Well, any of your friends who choose to have it enabled. For some reason, I used to have it enabled. I guess just because I liked my friends to see that I was busy a lot or something dumb. I'm in 11th grade, a junior in high school. Snapchat is obviously a huge thing these days in high school. If you don't have one, your friends will likely question why not. Even the weird kids have Snapchat. Like the really, really weird kids. Like the ones who sit in the corner of the lunchroom alone. Maybe I sound specific in saying that, because I am being specific. There was a kid named Zach who had been a socially awkward reject since elementary school. No one really knew if he actually had any issues or not. And everyone could agree that there was always something that seemed a bit off-putting and unpleasant about him. Apparently the kid was on Snapchat and was somehow getting people's Snapchat usernames. My username was one of them, apparently, because one cold December day, I got Zach Meister added you as a friend from Snapchat. I already knew it was him, so I added him back. I don't know why. I guess because I'm just too friendly of a person. Minutes after adding me, he sent me a picture and then a video.
First of all, who just sends a random pic? What are you sending a random pic for? All I did was accept you, bro. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. You doing too much. Imagine if, I don't know if he's portraying a girl or a boy, but if it's a girl, you sending this picture to, sending your a picture to a girl already, bro. You're moving too fast. Slow down.
I didn't want to open it because I knew it would be weird, but I was also curious to see what it was.
It's that one-eyed snake he sent you.
I waited a few hours to show as much disinterest as possible.
Sorry.
I opened it when I was in my bed, and what it was weirder than I thought it would be. It was a picture of me sitting in the lunchroom at school, but then the video was when the bell rang and everyone in the lunchroom got up, including me, obviously, and he zoomed in on me and recorded me as I left the lunchroom. The worst part was the caption at the bottom.
Yo, it's kind of like they making these apps and they adding a feature in for the crazy people out in the world. Like, let me add this feature here for the stalkers. They'll really love that. What?
Which said a cute LOL. I ignored it. I was so close to removing him, but for some reason, I didn't have it in me to do that. That night, laying in my bed, watching TV and Snapchatting friends, Zach, aka Zach Meister, messaged me on Snapchat. Unfortunately, I accidentally clicked the notification right away, which took me to his message, which said, "You live on Mason Street?" I answered back yes. He answered back and
Whoa. Why would you answer back yes? I did. Okay. The stupidity right now. I'm about to lose it. I am about to lose it. The whole time you have been saying, this is weird, this is creepy. Why would he send me this? I know who he is. He's a strange kid and he always sits by himself. But yet, you're going to confirm your address?
immediately. I planned on not opening his chat this time though, not for a long time. But the longer I waited, the more he messaged me. I was so close to blocking him, it was not even funny. He started sending me pictures now, pictures I was not planning on opening tonight. I knew that the longer I took to respond, the less interested he would be. So I put my phone down on the desk, turned off the TV, and went to sleep. The next morning when I woke up, my window was wide open, as well as my closet door.
Oh, he don't waste no time. You already at the window?
I literally mumbled to myself, what the fuck? I didn't remember opening either of them, but my room was absolutely freezing. I saw a bunch of new notifications from Zach on my phone. Then it sank in. What if this was him? I opened Snapchat in a hurry and opened the snaps from Zach. It started with pictures of a sidewalk last night, then a picture of my house, then a picture of my bedroom window, then a picture of me taken through the window, then a picture of Zach standing inside of my room, then a picture of me in my bed taken from my closet. That was the last picture. Then I saw his messages.
What the
There were so many messages, a lot of them starting with, "Answer, why do you take so long to answer?" Then later on he said, "I'm gonna come visit you, LOL, you have your snap map on too." Then he said, "I like watching people sleep." Then he said, "I found you with your snap map, I hope you don't mind, I think you're cute though." I need to mention, I'm a guy in case you were wondering. The rest of the messages said things like, "Are you up yet? What are you doing?" I didn't care anymore though. I screenshotted the chat. Unfortunately, I did not think to screenshot the pictures in time before it was too late. I blocked Zach's Snapchat account and went to my parents, who were in utter disbelief. My dad mostly handled trying to contact the police, which turned into a big thing. Police had to do investigating, which got the school involved as well. Apparently Zach lives or lived with his single alcoholic father, which kind of explained a lot. The screenshots of Zach admitting he found me via snap maps served as proof. Enough proof to get Zach charged with juvenile breaking and entering. No one ever saw Zach at school again after that. It was assumed he and his father moved far away.
Yo, inside your room, you sleep. Him watching you. Like, that would have freaked me out something serious, fam. The fact I didn't hear it. The fact that he could have did anything. He had to drop on me. And I was helpless. And your parents, imagining his pops, bro. I'd have been pissed. Man, y'all be careful, man. Make sure y'all windows is locked up at night.
I've been using Snapchat for a little over a year, just as a way to share cool or funny things that are going on in my life.
Some of y'all thinking right now, you let your kid download Snapchat. Now y'all are reconsidering. My bad. Tell your kids this is not my fault. This is not, don't blame me. Don't blame me.
You know that in high school there is always that one weird kid who acts like a psycho? The one who would quote unquote prank someone by putting a dead rat in their locker? That kid at my school was named Alex. Alex had done a lot of questionable things, and he's been suspended multiple times. He had brown hair that was always a bowl cut, and had really pale skin, vampire pale. One day, I got a notification on my phone while I was playing some video game. It was from Alex. I didn't remember adding him, but then I thought he must have seen my snap code from my Instagram page or something. It was weird though, I could see a score, which means I did add him back at one point, I just don't remember when. I put my phone down until I died in the video game I was playing. I unlocked my phone and opened Alex's snap. It was an extremely zoomed in picture of a door handle, more specifically a locking mechanism. It was captioned hello. I actually got a screenshot of the picture. I was kind of creeped out because I knew this kid was the kind of person who would come to your house and do something really messed up. I texted him back, asking why he sent me that picture. He responded with another picture. It was a blurry picture through a window, looking into a house. My heart sank when I realized it was a picture of our kitchen. I also screenshotted this picture. I ran straight to our kitchen and looked out the window. I saw him on my deck, laughing. I ran around the side to our dining room and threw open the door. He was still standing there, but he was holding his hand behind his back. I told him to get off our deck, but he slowly removed his hand from behind his back. He was holding a knife. I slammed the door shut and locked it. I yelled through the door that if he didn't leave, I would call 911. He smiled at me and slowly walked off our deck. I ran to make sure all the exterior doors were shut and locked. I don't know what he would have done if I hadn't slammed the door shut.
I knew what he would have done. I knew what he would have done. He'd have made you a little pin cushion, a little stab mark pin cushion, like.
But I hope I never have to find out. This is a short story, but it started just 2 days ago, and it has me scared shitless. I tend to get a lot of random people adding me on Snapchat because I have my Snapchat in my Instagram bio. Not to toot my own horn, but I live a kind of lavish lifestyle and show it through my Instagram pictures.
So you think that's smart to... What I'm starting to notice is that we do a lot of dumb things in life. And I always put myself included because I never want y'all to think that I feel like I'm above and I don't make dumb decisions. I make dumb decisions sometimes too. So that's why I'm able to acknowledge somebody else's decisions as well. I include myself. Inclusion is everything. But for real, so you live in a lavish lifestyle, which probably means you flaunt a lot of cash or expensive things and jewelry possibly or cars or whatever it is, and you want to keep your location known, you might as well just hold the sign up that says, hey, rob me here. I'll be home soon.
One rainy night when I was chilling with my friend, 2 random girls added me on the app. One named Casey Welsh, the other Bree Owens.
Catfish.
I added both of them back. They both had really low snap scores though. Like one had a snap score of 200, the other had a snap score of a couple thousand. I figured, okay, that was that. I'd wait and see if they sent me anything. Sure enough, the one named Casey snapped me a black screen with the caption, "You're cute." I ignored the message. It seemed like someone was messing with me. I checked the snap map and saw that both of the girls shared their locations. In fact, the 2 of them were apparently together in a car not too far away from me. Anyway, I had to go home. The weather outside was getting worse and it was getting late. I jumped in my car, got on the highway, but drove
And drove him all the way to your crib.
slow given how bad the rain was getting. There weren't many, if any, cars on the road at this point, until one car finally caught up behind me in the middle lane and stayed behind me for a while. I got off the highway to my town's exit, as did the car behind me. Not really weird. I took the left turn off the main road down the street towards our house. So did the car behind me though. Now it was slightly questionable. I pulled up into our house's driveway and turned off the car. The car that was behind me slowed down once it passed our driveway, then came to a halt. My heart started pumping to the point where I could feel it in my chest. I took my phone, opened Snapchat, and checked the map. Those 2 girls. It said they were right next to me on the map, right on top of my house. I shut my phone screen and felt like I was about to throw up. My dad was home, so if I could make it to the door and ring the bell a million times, maybe I'd be good. But no, it was too risky. Instead, I called the house phone. Thankfully, my dad picked up right away. I yelled into the phone, begging him to come outside. I saw the car in the street reversing to come closer to the driveway. At the same time, the front door opened and my dad came outside, looking at the car in the street. The car drove off, and only then did I run through the rain to the house. My dad hugged me and asked me who those men were. I broke away from the hug as he said this. Men? I asked. How do you know, and how many? He replied saying he saw at least 3 large men sitting in that car.
Told you, catfish.
Looking at him as it drove off. Last night, I woke up to noises outside of my window. Like leaves crunching, garbage cans being moved around. People were outside my window. I just knew it. I knew the blinds were open. I didn't want to look. I was too horrified to look at that window. Then I heard, I know you're up. Don't move a muscle. They're at the window. It was my dad. It was the scariest moment of my life. It sounded like my dad was hiding behind my bed. I heard footsteps outside move away, and my dad finally said it was safe. We watched as the car parked outside, the same one from the previous night, drove off. My dad and I are horrified to even go to sleep tonight. My dad said he's ready to call the cops at the slightest sign of something happening outside. If anything happens, I'll send an update.
At the slightest sign of something happening? So you're that family. Wait until something happens to call. Okay, cool. The fact that they walking around your house and peeking in windows and stuff like that and all that ain't enough to call? All right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, y'all gonna piss me off. I can see that right now.
I work as a nurse in a hospital, although I can't reveal exactly where because of privacy reasons. Recently, a fairly popular celebrity came to be treated here, although I can't reveal who due to the aforementioned privacy reasons. Honestly, I was pretty surprised he was coming here. Not to shit talk my place of employment, but this place has a bit of a record of being really bad in caring for people. Not that I'm a bad nurse or anything.
That's how the corona got spread right there. That dude right there. You see him?
It's just that a lot of the surgeons seem to fuck up their job and not get fired for some reason. This made it all the more confusing to me that this celebrity came here for surgery to remove a late-stage brain tumour. Speaking of, my friend Patricia was a huge fan and really wanted to be the one assigned to him post-surgery. She was even thinking of asking him for an autograph, which seemed unprofessional to me. Anyway, he was flying in for treatment tomorrow, but my current job was to assist a surgeon with the surgery of a little boy who swallowed a bunch of his toy marbles. I was surprised they decided to opt for surgery though, because they were previously recommended to wait for him to pass them. It was me, the anesthesiologist, and the surgeon in the room. I was staying nearby to the site of the surgery, and everything seemed to be going well. Then, the surgeon slipped and cut the kid's stomach lining open. It was horrific. The smell of stomach acid almost made me vomit as it began to dissolve his intestines. Despite our best efforts, he was dead within 10 minutes. What disturbed me was how unfazed the surgeon was.
He slipped? Like, that ain't your normal mistake. You slipped, instantly the dude dies after you screw up like that. I guess we about to find out what this secret basement in the hospital is.
We failed to save him. The surgeon left to break the news to the parents almost immediately after. I thought I heard the anesthesiologist mumble something under her breath, but I couldn't understand clearly. It was something about food. My shift was over though, and I walked to the subway to grab some dinner, then caught the bus home. I was pretty tired, so I watched some Netflix in bed until I fell asleep. That night I had a dream, or more accurately, a nightmare. I was in the hospital, and that kid was there in front of me. Only his whole body was hollow and his chest cavity was open and bloody. His eyes were gone too, but still, he stared at me, and the entire time he pointed straight down. I finally woke up. and with relief from being free of that dream and more guilt from the failed surgery, I started my day. I got to work and Patricia was fairly bubbly. She spent almost the whole morning talking my ear off about the celebrity. When he finally came in, she started freaking out and tried to walk up and talk to him. His bodyguards pushed her away though, and she returned to her duties dejectedly. Just before my lunch break, I was called into my supervisor.
You gotta keep your composure. You can't just run up to a celeb like.
His office. He said he had something very important for me to do, and that it needed to be done ASAP. He told me to go to the transplant center and get 10 hearts, then go to the basement. I was pretty confused and wanted to ask some questions, but he cut me off and yelled, "Either you can do this shit right now, or you can walk out and kiss your job goodbye." I was pretty pissed. He would fire me daring to ask a question, but the management would avoid firing their incompetent surgeons even though they should. I left in a huff to go collect the organs and found them waiting in a case there already, with a note signed by the doctor that gave me access to a restricted room in the basement simply called room 60. I didn't have the slightest...
Anytime you gotta go to that and then go to a secret like location, you should ask a lot of questions. And if they don't want to answer, that's the answer to your question. Get out of there. Stop. Or you gonna be grouped up right with them when they go to jail.
Clue what was in there and marched onwards to the elevator and went down to the basement. I walked to room 60 and showed the security guard my note. He looked me over and said, "Oh, this is your first time doing this, huh? I feel sorry for you. Try not to panic if you know what's good for you." He then unlocked the door and I stepped in. Immediately I was hit with a smell I would describe as rotten eggs, pennies and a corpse. The ground was slick with something and it was dark in there too, with only one dim overhead light. The room was pretty big, and in the middle I saw some nondescript blob. Then I heard what sounded like a deep breath in, and the blob started moving. The thing, which I now started to realise was a body, was walking towards me with stumpy fat legs. I screamed and tried to run away, but I slipped on the ground. As my face got smeared in it, I realised the stuff on the floor was blood, and as I turned onto my back, I was face to face with the thing. It looked like a very pale, morbidly obese man, although it was much taller and much fatter than any human could be. It had large curled horns, as well as no mouth. Instead, where its mouth should be, there was just a row of pitch-black, pointy, needle-like teeth surrounding a hole. It paid me no heed and reached out to pick up the box of organs. It opened the box and ate all...
Don't tell me he's about to eat that. Don't tell me he's about to eat that.
all the hearts in handfuls, stuffing 3 at a time in its mouth. I was terrified and ran out the door, slamming it shut behind me. The security guard looked me in the eyes and put a reaffirming hand on my shoulder. It looked like he wanted to say something but couldn't. He told me that he would walk me out of the building and that I could have the rest of the day off. Now I'm at home, still shaking and typing this up. I got a text from Patricia, and apparently the celebrity's surgery was a massive success. I'm wondering what I even do now. Is this the type of thing I can report? Would anyone believe me?
What though? I was not expecting that type of story. I was not expecting that type of story, but either way, that was crazy. Secret basement in the hospital. You think the hospital got secret basements? Now, I will go along the lines and say that there's probably some things going on in the hospital that we're unaware of. Definitely. Secret society. That's all I'm gonna say. I said too much as it is. Listen, y'all get at me in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Leave a like, share the video, subscribe, and stick around and stay tuned, man, to the next reaction. I'm out. Peace. Y'all stay solid. Hey.